When there's no time to read about it, hear about it. AM Tampa Bay, early weekday mornings on News Radio 970 WFLA. Mixing news and entertainment. AM Tampa Bay, weekdays 5 to 9 on News Radio 970 WFLA. The newsmakers, the stories, the show. AM Tampa Bay. The morning headlines without all the ink on your fingers. Big names, big stories. AM Tampa Bay with Jack Harris, Ted Webb, and Sharon Taylor. Weekdays at 5 on News Radio 970 WFLA. Step inside the sick, twisted mind of Glenn Beck. Weekday mornings at 9 on News Radio 970 WFLA. Get an attitude adjustment every weekday morning at 9 with Glenn Beck. Only on Tampa Bay's Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. He dares to say what others only think. Glenn Beck, weekdays 9 to noon on News Radio 970 WFLA. A show where political correctness takes a flying leap off a high bridge and dies a quick, sudden death. The show where political correctness takes a flying leap off a high bridge and dies a quick, sudden death. Morals and morons. Don't miss more on Don't miss more on trivia every Friday during football season on the Glenn Beck program. 9 to noon weekdays on News Radio 970 WFLA. You won't believe your ears. Just because he works for CNN doesn't mean he thinks he's like... Just because he works for CNN doesn't mean he thinks he's like those idiots. Glenn Beck. What the hell did I read? Just because he works for CNN doesn't mean he thinks like those idiots. Glenn Beck. America, the land of opportunity, a gleaming beacon of hope to those stuck in crappy third world hellholes. Glenn Beck wants everyone to live the American dream, so long as they live it legally, pay their taxes, and speak English. That's not too much to ask now, is it? Glenn Beck, tomorrow morning at 9 after AM Tampa Bay, News Radio 970 WFLA. It's America's most listened to talk show. The Rush Limbaugh Show, next at noon on Tampa Bay's most listened to talk station, News Radio 970 WFLA. American radio's biggest voice, Rush Limbaugh, booming to your radio weekdays noon to 3 on News Radio 970 WFLA. He's America's anchor man, broadcasting the news to the nation, Rush Limbaugh. Hey, ditto heads, listen up. Coming up after the noon news, grab your 3-hour heaping helping from your hero, Rush, exclusively on News Radio 970 WFLA. Towering above all the competition, Rush Limbaugh, next at noon to 3 weekdays. Talk radio doesn't get any bigger than this, the Rush Limbaugh Show. When the wait till noon seems like an eternity, there's the Rush Morning Update, mornings at 6:55 on News Radio 970 WFLA. Agitating the afternoon airwaves, the Schnitz Show is up next at 3, weekdays 3 to 6, only on News Radio 970 WFLA. Informative, insightful, intriguing. The Schnitz Show, afternoons at 3 on News Radio 970 WFLA. You forgot to add irritating. Pontificating his point of view with ear-piercing passion. Todd Schnitt, The Schnitt Show, coming up next at 3, weekdays 3 to 6, weekdays at 3 on News Radio 970 WFLA. Unrestrained, uninhibited, uncontrolled. Bedwetting. Todd Schnitt. Let 93.3's Morning Madman take you on an afternoon adventure. Or do you want just 93.3? Let 93.3's Morning Madman take you on an afternoon adventure. Just make sure your belt's on tight. Roll up your sleeves, because your patriotic shot is waiting for you. Sean Hannity, next at 6, News Radio 970 WFLA. Now you too can have perfect hair. Sean Hannity, not only a good head of hair, but also a good head on his shoulders. Weeknights following Schnitt, News Radio 970 WFLA. Why watch him on TV when you can have him on the radio? Set your radio for Sean Hannity, weeknights at 6 on News Radio 970 WFLA, the home of Fox News. Rush is right, but so is Sean. Same great taste and less filling. Sean Hannity, weekdays 6 to 9 on News Radio 970 WFLA. It's Red, White, and Sean. Show your colors weeknights at 6. The Sean Hannity Show on Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Allow him to get it off your chest. It's passion, patriotism, and politics. The Sean Hannity Show, weekdays 2 to 5. Get Hannitized on Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Fighting the decay in D.C. Sean Hannity. Open up and say ah. The Sean Hannity Show, weeknights at 6 on Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Rinse and repeat. Listen as he grills America's leaders. The Sean Hannity Show. Talk radio. Well done. Weeknights 6 to 9 on Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Handsome, humorous, humanitarian. Hannity. Doing your world a lot of good. Set your clock to the Sean Hannity Show. Tonight after Schnitt on Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Sean Hannity. If you like him on TV, you'll love him on the radio. The Sean Hannity Show. Listen in every weeknight at 6 on News Radio 970 WFLA, the home of Fox News. Pissing liberals off at an alarming pace. Mark Levin is next at 9 on News Radio 970 WFLA. Sterilizing liberals with an elephant-sized dose of conservative. Mark Levin, weeknights at 9. You may want to sleep with one ear open. Coast to Coast AM with George Noory. Let me make those a little darker. You may want to sleep with one ear open. Coast to Coast AM with George Noory, tonight at 10. Weeknights beginning at 10. With Art Bell, Saturday and Sunday late night. When the going gets weird, the weird call George. Carefully navigating the fringes of lunacy. The unbelievable, the unthinkable, the unimaginable. Beyond your wildest imaginations. Governmental conspiracies, paranormal prophecies, the stuff you want to discuss with your friends because you don't want them to call. The stuff you want to discuss with your friends because you don't want them to call you a kook. Get hooked with the Captain Mel Berman Show, trolling the FLA waters every Saturday mornings at... Trolling the FLA waters every Saturday morning at 6. Saturdays 6 to 9. He only sticks his pole in places that smell like fish. The Captain Mel Berman Show. Tackle talk and fishing fodder for the avid angler. Reelin' in the big one. It's the only radio show that smokes. Literally. The Cigar Dave Show. Saturdays noon to 2. Saturdays 1 to 3. On News Radio 970 WFLA. This should be N Perversions. Cigars, spirits, and diversions. It's the Cigar Dave Show. It's access to life's excesses. The Cigar Dave Show. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Your non-discriminative carcass cooker. Your non-discriminative carcass cooker-upper. Tony Fatso and On the Grill. Saturdays at 3. Saturdays at 2. On News Radio 970 WFLA. What is this, a freaking overhaul? Are we doing all this shit again? Marinated and seasoned for your consumption. On the Grill with Tony Fatso. Dishing the Dirt. Florida Gardening with Stan DeFreitas and Mark Govan. Sunday mornings 8 to 11. Don't blame him for the decline of Western civilization. It's not his fault, but he damn sure isn't doing anything to stop it. Jeff Fisher and the Fisher Files, next at 11. like a gully full of garbage festering for a week waiting to be dumped. The Fisher Files, Sunday mornings at 11, Sundays 11 to 1. God, that is a pleasant description, isn't it? He's the guy your mother warned you about. Jeff Fisher and the Fisher Files, Sundays 11 to 1. Covering in 3 hours what he covered all week. The Glenn Beck Weekend, Sundays 1 to 4. It's the fastest 3 hours in radio. Missed Rush Friday? Then hear a Rush replay Sunday at 4 with an encore presentation. Keep your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, and both ears on Gary. Gary McHenry Traffic, mornings and afternoons on News Radio 970, WFLA. Gary McHenry, Tampa Bay's most trusted traffic reporter. Tried and trued, mornings and afternoons on News Radio 970, WFLA. Blue hairs blocking your throughway? Find alternate routes with real-time traffic reports online and on demand at 970WFLA.com. The streets are crawling with creeps. That's why we're here 24/7 with dependable traffic. News Radio 970 WFLA. More traffic reports more often, exclusively from your official traffic station, News Radio 970 WFLA. Get to work without the worries. Plan your route ahead of time with real-time traffic updates at 970WFLA.com. Entertaining and informative. This is News Radio 970 WFLA, the home of Fox News. News at the top and bottom of every hour. Online at 970WFLA.com. Logged on, tuned in. Fox News Radio 970 WFLA, Tampa Bay. Online, on air, and on demand at 970WFLA.com. This is Fox News Radio 970 WFLA, Tampa Bay. Stories at the top, headlines at the bottom. Always on demand at 970WFLA.com. Logged on, tuned in. Fox News Radio 970 WFLA, Tampa Bay. Fox News Radio 970 WFLA. Free deliveries 7 days a week. Second served at the all-you-can-eat information smorgasbord. 970WFLA.com. Download podcast after podcast after podcast. What the hell? It's why they're there. 970WFLA.com. In life, parents use candy to bribe their children to listen. In radio, we use cars. Kids want candy. Listeners want cars. And FLA's newest big mouth, Sean Hannity's got 5 of Mr. Goodwrench's goodies just for you. Want one? Well, visit Hannity.com and fill out an entry form. Then listen to Sean's show nightly from 6 to 9 now through November 6th to hear if you're a winner. Call it Greasing the Ear. News Radio 970 WFLA. Meet Bob. Bob benefits big time from the resources of News Radio 970 WFLA. Right, Bob? He's always in the know with the latest news, traffic, and weather. Then there's more news and opinions. With shows like AM Tampa Bay, Beck, Rush, Schnitt, Hannity, Noory, plus page after page of downloads, information, and live audio at 970WFLA.com. See, Bob really does benefit big time. And you can too. News Radio 970